Now we have to move on to the macroeconomics, that is the second part of the syllabus, right? And first of all, we have to understand the first unit, that is the most important unit of the macroeconomics, that is the national income. And the first part of this unit that we are going to study is the circular law of income. See, for understanding this concept or this unit, you always have to remember the meaning of the economy. Okay, it means that the initial discussion in initial part which I am going to discuss here, that doesn't belong to any chapter, it belongs to the basic introduction of the economy and the national income. But you might find all the concepts used here in chapter number 1 or in chapter number 2 of your books. First of all, see what's an economy. We have already discussed that economy is a system which is providing you means to satisfy your wants. Okay, and it also provides you the source of livelihood. For example, want could be any requirement, like say want for food, satisfaction, hunger will be satisfied by the food. That food you can buy from money which you have earned from the source of livelihood provided by the economy. And this whole chain is known as the economic system. Means the basic functioning of economy is this: it provides you the source of livelihood, also provides you the goods which are needed to satisfy your wants. Right? So it means that there are three important things which are happening in an economy, that is production, distribution and consumption. Production of the goods and services required to satisfy the want. Distribution means how they are reaching you. Like for example, a particular commodity may be manufactured in say Chennai and you are getting it in Dehradun, or maybe it is manufactured in any other part of the world, maybe outside India, then also you are getting it. This is distribution, and consumption is when you are using that commodity to satisfy your want. Right, so these three terms you always have to remember. Again, you just look at these: production, distribution and consumption. These are three important processes of an economy, or three important activities of an economy. Now we will talk further about all these things. Keeping all the other things in mind, you just now have to understand the circular flow of income. It means that income keeps on changing hands. For example, if you earn a salary, you buy something from the market, it becomes your expenditure and income for the seller. Similarly, that seller will also buy something and again it will become income for someone. This is the meaning of circular flow of income, how income is moving in an economy. To understand this, we have to first understand the agents of the economy. Agents means these are the wheels of the economy, or these are the parts of the economy. Like economy is a system, so system will work on certain parts or agents. They are referred to as the agents of an economy. We broadly classify them into two agents: household and firm. Means economy is divided into two parts. One is the household and one is the firm. Household means each and every person, each and every member of the economy. Means every citizen living in India is the household part of the Indian economy, or belongs to the household sector of the Indian economy. Firms are all the production units. So household, they are all the members of the economy, and firms, they are the production units of the economy. One important characteristic of household is that they are the owners of factors of production. Factors of production, you already know: land, labor, capital and entrepreneurs. If you just think for a minute, you will realize that all the land in the economy belongs to some of the household. All the labor, the people who are going and providing the labor to the firms, like a person going to a hospital to work as a doctor, or maybe to a school to work as a teacher, or any other sort of factor service provided by the labor also belongs to the household. Capital is the money which the business are investing in their businesses. Again, that is provided by the household. Entrepreneurs are the people who have started that particular business, or they are the risk bearers of the business, and they also belong to the household. It means a household is owning all the factors of production. But production is done here, right? It means household owns the factor of production but doesn't need them, because household itself is not doing any production. Production is being done by the firms. So the whole of the economic circular flow or national income is based on the relation between the firm and the household. These factors of production are lended by the household to the firm, then the firms do the production of the goods and services, and again they sell them to the household, and this whole thing works in a chain. Better we can understand with the help of a diagram, but first you have to remember these terms, right? Factor of production, production units, production of goods and services, and selling them to the household. This whole chain you have to remember in. You can say this, if you have understood this, you have understood national income. If you haven't been able to understand this concept, you cannot understand it further. Okay, so now we will move on to the correct diagrammatic representation of the system. It is a two-sector model. Why I call it as a two-sector model? Because I am having two sectors, household and firm. Later we will study three-sector and four-sector model as well. So see, now an economy works like this. The household lends the factors of production to the firms, or they can also be called as factor services. And now see what happens when the household is lending out the factor of production. It will not lend them out for free. Okay, it will always take some money in return. These are known as factor incomes, or it can also be called as factor payment. Again remember, income from the point of view of the household and payment from the point of view of the firm. As I told you, as we have already discussed, that the expense of someone becomes income for some other person. Now see what the firm will do with this, with these factors of production. They will produce the goods and services. And again, who needs the goods and services to satisfy their wants? The household. So these are sold to the household, and in return the firm take the consumption expenditure, right? Consumption expenditure is nothing, it is a technical term used for the money which the household is paying to buy the goods and services for its consumption. This whole model or this whole flow represents how an economy is working. Every economy will work like this. Factor of production moving to the firms, then factor incomes in return, goods and services being produced by the firms, then going to the sold to the household in return of the consumption expenditure. And you can see this is the money which keeps on moving. That's why it is known as circular flow of income, right? So if we have to define the circular flow of income, it is simply defined as the flow of the factors of production and factor incomes along with the goods and services in the various sectors of an economy, right? Now again, if we divide this particular diagram into two parts, like the equator is dividing the earth into two parts, the top part will be known as the factor market. Why it is known as a factor market? Because here the factors of production are being bought and sold. While the lower half is known as the product market, because here products or goods and services are being bought and sold. So we always have to remember that sellers approach the factor market. This we have done in the market forms of market chapter also. Sellers will go to the factor market and the buyers or the household or the consumers go to the product market. This you have to remember, and maybe you are asked to define a factor market or a product market. Okay, this whole circular flow of income You have to understand very carefully, and you have to use it everywhere whenever you are in a problem, whenever you are facing a problem in understanding any part of the national income, or maybe the further chapter of macroeconomics. This concept can be used. Again, this circular flow can be divided into two parts. One is product flow, or also known as the real flow. And second is money flow, or also known as the income flow. See, product flow, you can simply just look at your diagram and you will come to know that there are two things which are flowing in the form of products, or they are not in the form of money. The first thing that is flowing in the real form is factor service, or the factors of production. And second thing is goods and services. It means if you are asked to define real flow or product flow, you write it is a flow of factor services or the factor of production and the goods and services across the various sectors of an economy. Money flow means that two things are in form of money. One is the factor income, or also called as the factor payment, and second is the consumption expenditure. Okay, again simple to understand. These two are in the form of money, so they are known as the money flow or as the income flow. They are in the form of the services or in the form of the goods, that's why they are known as the real flow or the product flow. So if you are asked to define money flow or income flow, you will define it as the flow of the factor income and the consumption expenditure across the various sectors of an economy. While definition of circular flow will include both flow of the factor services